Hey Nathan, what we're going to look at here is your golf swing, and I put Luke Donald up next to you here because he's kind of the same stature as you, about height and that. So setup wise, you should be close to the same. So big thing we want to see here, and what I've identified here is I've kind of drawn some boxes here that are kind of your foundation wall, to speak. So we got one kind of basically where your spine's running and then where the front of your chest is at. So you got that whole cage, and then on your back of your leg and your front of your leg. So if we look at the two here, you can really see Luke has just a little bit more knee bend than you, and is maybe a little bit more erect in the upper body, and doesn't appear to be reaching quite as much as you are. Like, what's really weird is you're bent more at the chest, but it looks like you're reaching more with your arms. So that's going to throw you off balance a little bit right away. You can actually see here, if we had you on a pressure mat, I would think that you would have just a hair more weight on your toes, where you could see Luke Donald is very much even balanced. We talk about golf as being an athletic sport compared to like baseball, football, basketball, those other things. So you can see Luke Donald here. He's in a good position to play defense, field the ground ball, linebacker to react to a run. You're a little bit more on your balls of your feet here, so if somebody made a cut on you, you wouldn't be able to keep up as much. So what I'd like to see, just as you can see here with Luke Donald, in fact, I'll draw another line here off his tush line, and if it goes down 90 degrees right there, you can see how far his tush is behind his heels, and yours is pretty much right on him. So you can see how he's set back in his foundation just a little bit more. So he's just going to have a little bit more support. So biggest thing here, we're going to run this up to position 4, which is the top of the backswing here. So there you are at the top of the backswing. And because you're out of your foundation at the start, you can see here that your left thigh has gone outside your foundational wall, and then now your upper body is extended up and outside of this. So you can see this gap here. Ideally, we would like to see the foundation wall at the top of the backswing somewhere like that. So that's where it needs to start at address, is to get in that position right there. So you can see you stretched out. Your lower foundation wall now is out here like that. So you can see you've kind of stood up and moved away from the golf ball. Now you've got to make that same adjustment back down into the golf ball, where if we run Luke Donald up to that same position, P4 here, camera guy moved just a little bit on his, that's why you see the shake. But you can kind of see he's still a lot closer inside his foundation wall here. The camera, like I said, moved just slightly, but he's pretty much in. His whole upper body, his whole rib cage is inside his upper foundation, and his lower body is still inside his lower foundation at the top. So what happens is, now if we watch yours coming down, you're staying tall, right? So your head's moved very far back, and now you reached, right, to create room. So you remember your foundation wall was here at address, inside those yellow lines, and now you can see your spine is way up and out of the golf shot. You're way up in here, right, with your foundation wall. So you can see how it's really, really changed. So that's at position 7, which is impact. So if we go to Luke's, he's pretty much at impact. You can see here he's still with his lower body and his upper body inside his foundation wall. So that's a little bit past. So we go right there, he's even more inside his foundation wall. So you're just, because you didn't start in a good foundational spot, you've had to move that all over the place. So your golf swing is going to create a lot more timing involved into it, and because of that, you're going to get a lot more inconsistencies in there. You can also see here your right arm is on top of your left, so you've got some flip action in there. Obviously you hit in the net, so we don't know ball flight here, but I would suspect that your tendency right now is to get some pulls, low lefts, and then maybe some high weak rights, as if you leave the face open to square it up just a little bit. So You just need to stay a little better in your foundational wall, and I would change that setup just a little bit. So let's go back here to the start. So there's Luke at address, and then we're going to get you back here at address. And all that just causes your arm swing to move. As your body stands up, your arm swing is going to go more around, so your arms are getting a little bit deeper than what they should be, and some of those things. So it just leads to a lot of issues with that there. So I took a screenshot of this for you, and I'll email that along with this video link. But this is where I would start. You need to fix this a little bit. So I would like to see your upper body get a little bit more vertical up this way, so similar to like what Luke has here. And I would like to see your upper foundation more in this area, and then your lower foundation a little bit more knee flex, with your butt back a little bit more against the wall. So a good drill for this would be put your butt against the wall, standing straight vertical, and then I want you to kind of walk your feet out, as we saw here over here with Luke. His tush line is a good 6-8 inches away from his heels. So just kind of butt against the wall, standing vertical, and then I want you to walk your heels away from the wall a good 6 to 8 inches, and softly bend your knees so that your knees are out over kind of your almost to your toes, kind of where the crease would be found in your shoes. And then what we're going to do is just softly lean your chest over so that your hands would hang straight down just in front of your toe line. And that would be kind of your dress position. So just kind of walk through that process probably 10 times in the morning and 10 times at night before you go to bed. And this setup will start to really feel natural and good for you. So that's where I would start. It's just kind of a setup situation. So now your body can't turn properly because you didn't start in the right position. So work on that address position, and that turn and stuff will get a little bit better. So basically, the 5 simple keys system that I instruct with, we'd be looking at key number 1. You've got a lot of head movement, but it all starts at address. So we're going to get that head a little bit more stable at address and fundamentally sound, and then that golf swing is just going to clean itself up, and you're going to get a lot more consistent. So work on that, and then let me know how the progress is going.